Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Perkins, a board certified OBGYN, and it's so good to be with you today. In this video today, we're going to talk about PCOS in general because I know there's just so many questions out there about what it is and what to do about it. We will talk about why is it so difficult to lose weight when you have PCOS, and I'm going to talk to you about strategies that we know works to help you lose weight when you have PCOS. So let's talk about PCOS. What exactly is it? By an acronym, it's easy to say PCOS, but that actually means or stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. There are many different ways to diagnose this, but the most common way is the Rotterdam criteria, which requires 2 of 3 common things. The first is anovulation. That is the fancy medical term to say that you're not having regular ovulation, which means you're not having regular periods. No ovulation means no periods. And it means that you have cycle irregularity that creates a life of inconsistency as far as your cycles are concerned. So you don't know when your next cycle is going to come, or if it does come, it is greater than 35 days away from the last one. That's possibility number 1. The second thing is that you may have high androgens. Androgens are another fancy medical term that means that you have more male hormones in your system that is typical or atypical for a female. And so that is a combination of things like DHES, is testosterone levels, things like that. And so that is an easy blood work that can be done by your doctor to check to see what your androgen levels are like. That's the second criteria. The third is a little bit of, creates some confusion, I would say, because it is finding many follicles on ultrasound. And this is kind of where the term polycystic ovarian syndrome comes from. Poly means a lot. Cystic really is a term that reflects the cysts or follicles that are developed around an egg as it matures. And so when we look by ultrasound on your ovaries, we may often see, if you have PCOS, a lot of follicles, a lot of cysts, which essentially are a reflection of immature eggs that are stacking up inside of your ovaries because none of them are maturing enough for your eggs to be released. So you're not ovulating. Instead, you have eggs that are stuck in an immature state inside of your ovary, and your ovaries will continue to grow and grow and grow and get bigger and bigger just with all these follicles, all these immature eggs. And so the difficult part of diagnosing PCOS is that not all individuals with PCOS have all 3 issues. Not having regular cycles, having high hormone androgen levels, and having cysts on your ovaries or in your ovaries. And so by criteria, you need 2 of those 3 things to be positive for you to get the diagnosis. And so once the diagnosis is made, now we can actually navigate what your specific symptoms are so that we can go ahead and create a plan and understand your condition better so we can help you. Now, weight is a big concern in people with PCOS. And the reason for this is 40 to 80% of people with PCOS are obese. Not everyone, but a majority are. And so why is weight such a common factor? Why is this so much of an issue? The underlying reason for that is insulin resistance. And I'll quickly kind of break down what that means. Essentially, in a person with PCOS, with insulin resistance, which is about 70% of them, your body is not able to use the carbohydrates or the sugars that you eat responsibly. By responsibly, I mean sugars are usually the first form of energy that your body seeks for. And so if you're walking and you're running or you're jumping or breathing, we want those carbs and sugars to be used. But in someone with PCOS, your body doesn't respond to insulin, which is the key to using your glucose and your carbohydrates. So instead, your body now stores the carbohydrates that you eat because it can't use it. And so what is it storing it as? Fat. And so here you are with PCOS trying your best. You're eating so well, you're exercising, you're doing all the things, but you're gaining weight or your weight isn't changing. And you're just like, why am I doing this? And the frustration begins and continues. And so unless we can reverse insulin resistance, you may truly have a difficult time losing weight with PCOS. Some studies have actually shown that someone with PCOS may need to work 20 to 30% harder than the average person just to lose a pound of weight. That's a lot of extra work just to try to lose weight. And again, it just adds to the frustration. So let's talk about what we know works, what evidence-based medicine has supported. The first thing is having a low glycemic diet. It is the first thing and what I would consider to be the most important. This means that when you are eating your foods or choosing your foods, I want you to do some research on the things that you're eating. Put it on Google, AI, whatever works for you, and check what the glycemic index is. You'll get a number that ranges between 1 and 100 or 0 and 100. And you want to select foods that are 50 or below. And so for instance, if you were to look up oats, you'll get a number. If you look up broccoli, you'll get another number. Look up butter, whatever it is, you want to select foods that are less than 50. They're low glycemic index foods. This doesn't mean low carbs. This doesn't mean high fats. It doesn't mean protein only. It means that you can still keep a balanced diet, but you're selecting the foods that are not going to cause high spikes to your insulin in your body. You want things that will raise your sugars and your glucose levels, but moderately do so while your body makes use of the insulin that you're producing and your cells can absorb them for energy. Rather than what happens with high glycemic foods, which is within 15 minutes of eating them, your sugars are high, your insulin is super high, and your body's like, I'm gonna just store this as fat. Okay, and so that is number one. Let's talk about exercising. What research has shown is doing HIIT exercises helps so much when it comes to insulin resistance and PCOS. HIIT stands for high intensity interval training. And this can be done with cardio or it can be done with weights. And essentially what it means is that for very short periods of time, you're given everything you've got. You're going as fast as you can, as hard as you can, you're pushing as heavy as you can safely. And this is followed by a short period of rest. That rest could be something lighter or it could be not doing anything at all. And that rest period may last 20 or 30 seconds. And then you give high intensity again, you give everything you've got, and you do this for a total of 10 to 15 minutes. That's your entire workout. And so doing this stimulates your cardiovascular system, stimulates your hormones, stimulate your cells and your muscles and your joints so that the receptors to accept carbohydrates opens, and all these energies, these glucose, these carbs go into your cells and are used for energy rather than stay in your circulation or being stored as fat. We also know that resistance training helps a ton. This means lifting weights. I know it's not the most cupcake looking or thought process when it comes to females in the gym. I know we are scared of the weights. I know it's a scary process, but when we think about our hormones and our bodies and our joints and getting older and all the things, we know that resistance training regularly can help to balance your hormones, helps with insulin resistance, increases the likelihood of having fertility and ovulation and all the things. And so it is highly recommended. And so you can start slow. You don't need to be a bodybuilder. We just need to get to the gym, start lifting some weights, or stay at home and use resistance bands or whatever type of resistance training that works for you. There's something for everyone. And if these options are not really working for you, or you're just like, listen, Dr. P, I've been trying this, I've been at it for months or years and it's just not working for me, it is completely okay for you to talk with your doctors and consider pharmacologic agents. So this could be things like GLP-1 medications, right? You may even want to discuss things like bariatric surgery or surgical options to help you on your weight loss journey. Hormonal issues may continue to be a problem because the system is broken. And so we want you to try to fix the system so that you're no longer suffering under the syndrome and all the changes that happens with that. Sometimes if we don't change our lifestyle, but we have these pharmacological or surgical interventions, we may still remain in the condition and the status of the condition, even though you have these other interventions. And so I highly encourage that you make changes from day to day. And if you've been doing them and you've made all the changes already, continue that. We want this to be a lifestyle. We want you to be encouraged and add on additional treatment modalities as necessary. I hope this information has been very helpful for you today. I know this journey is difficult, and guess what? Because of that, I do want to offer you a free copy of my ebook, Hormones Don't Lie. Because in addition to all the things that we talked about today, I will give you practical tips and ways to help you on your weight loss journey, but really on balancing your hormones, especially with PCOS. To get a copy of that, please click the link in the description on this video, and I'll send it right over to you. It's been a pleasure. As always, I'm Dr. P. Thanks for being here.